All right, back by popular demand on the podcast today. It's John and Nancy facing off against the random question generator.
Yeah, buddy.
We learn things about ourselves we don't even know. And we're going to get to that next because John and Nancy are still talking. So the random question generator is often our friend, occasionally our enemy, and sometimes puts us at risk for many things.
We just like to try to have fun with it, but
I always think that when you just are posed with a question off the cuff,
we can't pass on the question.
Cannot
we have
pass
to
on the
answer.
question, and it just comes from the computer. The computer decides what question we get.
Yep.
When you're just posed with a question off the cuff, you have to really be somewhat honest about it because you can't think about a lie.
Correct, sir.
There's no time.
Right.
So we've posed up the question generator here, and we'll have it ask us a few, and we'll see how we do. You ready?
I am ready as I'll be.
Question number 1. When you're by yourself, what do you usually think about?
Do we really want to delve into this? I'm going to scare you guys.
When you're by yourself, what do you usually think about?
I mean, okay, I usually think about food a lot of times.
Okay.
What's for dinner? What should we do for dinner? Should I look up a recipe? What's John having for dinner?
Pretty much all of it.
What's all my friends having
The
for
food
dinner?
process.
Because if you know me,
All
I
right.
ask you what you had last night, what you're having tonight,
Okay.
what are we doing for lunch today? So I'm just going to be safe because there's a whole other, but we're just going to go with food.
Food is not bad. I like that. I think my being inside my brain when I'm by myself. None of you guys want to be anywhere.
This is what I'm
near
talking
it.
about, right?
But I am always trying to generate ideas
Okay.
for either the radio program or advertising we're doing or something like that. And my brain
So
just
you
goes,
can't shut off your
I
brain.
can't shut it off. It's impossible. It's always going. The good thing about that, is it's sort of. I mean, that's what I do for a living.
Right.
My brain works that way.
Correct.
And somehow I've lucked into having somebody pay me for it.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
No, for
but
sure.
that's kind of it is. I've just always got these random thoughts, and then they get attached to projects or are used on the show or something. It's
Okay.
just always something going on in there. But again, all of you would be terrified to walk in my brain for an hour
All right.
or
Well,
two
that was a good one. I like
when he
that
goes
question.
down. All right, question number 2, Nance. What types of things do you procrastinate the most on?
Chores around the house. Like chores around the house. So, for instance, right now, I have been doing some painting because, if you guys know, my side hustle these days, I've been painting, not artistically painting, but painting rooms in my house and updating trim. Right now, there is some trim and some doors and some need to be updated. And yesterday, I had nothing on my list. The paint was sitting now 2 feet from me, and I couldn't get up and do it.
Isn't that great?
It's wrong.
I
was
know it's wrong.
But nobody's there to make me do it, so it's like
And that's
painting
it.
right now.
And no one to make you feel guilty into
Right.
doing it, right?
Right. What about you?
Oh, man, I hate to say this in your presence because you're going to get mad at me and throw stuff at me. I procrastinate the most on exercise.
Yeah. What's the deal, man?
You
and my husband.
I need to be doing more of it. I know I need to be doing more of it, and I find other things to do.
So let's do this
Oh,
because
dear.
this is something that my husband and I were talking about. So
Now
he's
she's going to fix
Well,
me.
here's just a short story. So he's had this Planet Fitness membership since January of 2022. He's never been. So the fight is, I want to go and cancel it. I can't cancel it without him there. And so he goes this week. He goes, well, why don't we make exercising my new hobby? Because I also was telling him, dude, you have to get some hobbies. Like, you don't have any hobbies. So maybe you, John, can create a new hobby.
I have hobbies.
And your hobby is
No,
exercising.
my hobby is music, and I'd much rather sit and play the guitar than exercise.
But a 20-minute hobby walk you could do that. You could do it. Maybe you and Bruce can work out together.
Well, the good thing about my procrastination isn't costing me $12 a month. I
have to see it every month on the
Planet Fitness membership. I do need to get better at that. And,
Yes, definitely.
And, it'll be the next thing I do, I promise, tomorrow.
A new hobby.
All right, question number 3. What does nobody want to talk about but really should talk about? I think it's exercise.
Wait, so what
So
does
what people, nobody wants to talk about this, but we really should be talking about this. And I think actually because tomorrow is Earth Day, and I think it's important. Like a lot of us can do little things to not like don't litter. Start there,
right?
right? Don't litter. But nobody wants to talk about the planet and all that stuff because it's dangerous. I mean, it could be awful. You know, climate change, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to really talk about that, but it's important to kind of stay fixated on it because there are smart people who are working on it
Yeah.
and need all of our help eventually.
It's definitely easy to put on the blinders and just go about our
Keep
business
plowing
and being
through.
like,
Yep.
well, you know, what can one person do? But we can all make slight
Little bit.
changes for sure.
That's just what comes to mind initially. But what? How about you? What does nobody talks about this, but probably we should.
Oh dear. What should we be talking about? I mean, you know, obviously, we are talking about gun stuff because all that stuff's happening. But what are we not talking about? Food? I don't know. I can't come up.
Always comes back to food.
I
with
know.
her. I got one more, but it's just you know.
Say it.
I think it's. I think
can be
everybody
mine.
needs to be more vocal about the fact that our politicians are getting too old.
Oh, okay. Good.
All the way
point.
across.
Yes.
I think that wouldn't it be great to have people that were really smart and competent and be 36?
Yes.
And that's not a judgment on either party or either way or anything. It's just that this same old kind of hierarchy of old people, usually old men, you know, it needs some changing, but nobody's talking about that.
That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
That's what I meant to say. I meant to say that we should be talking about how old our politicians are.
That answer will cost you $5.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
and
you.
last one. Here we
Okay.
go. It's the random question generator. What is something, Nancy Flagg, that you don't mind waiting for?
I don't mind waiting. I'm pretty. I was going to say I'm pretty patient, but
No, you're not.
I'm not. What don't you mind waiting for?
I don't mind waiting for jobs to be done well.
Okay.
Like if I'm having my car repaired or I'm having something done to my home, I don't mind if they go, you know what, this is going to take a couple weeks. You know, as long as it's done correctly and right, and I trust the people that are doing it, I don't mind having work done properly for me. I don't need everything done so quickly that maybe people make mistakes.
That's so insightful of you. I don't mind how long it takes Bruce to make me dinner every night. I don't mind that I have to wait for him to get home from work. No, I'm just trying to be funny because yours is definitely more insightful, and I'm not going to top that.
I just love that. That
But
is
I don't
so
mind
awesome.
how long it takes Bruce to make me dinner. No,
Well, I
of
hope you
course,
don't-
I just am joking.
We hope you don't mind if you wait for the next installment of John and Nancy Are Still Talking, because if you keep listening,
We will keep talking.
and it'll be up real soon.
Here.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.